Hey mate, how are you?
Gary, I'm very well. How are you?
Fantastic. Another week. They're flying by. I can't quite believe another week's gone since we were last in the pub. It was. What have you been up to this week?
I was just counting all the views that we got from last week. Absolutely fantastic. I mean, look, this is this ninth episode on Barber's, 5th of June 2020. I think we're 12 weeks into lockdown. This started a couple of weeks into lockdown. I don't know about you guys. I just want to say a massive thank you to everybody globally who's tuning in and making this show absolutely unbelievable. So, from my point of view, it's absolutely unbelievable. I think 500,000 viewers so far have tuned into Barber's, which is unbelievable, and it's absolutely fantastic.
Oh, it's quite surreal, really. I'm getting messages all the time, and people are really taking to it. It's I think we were just talking earlier with the podcast and everything else, everything taken into account for the 9 episodes now. I think you're nearly up to about 500,000. I mean,
I know.
Can you believe that?
Well, I can believe it for myself because a lot of people want to watch me, but for you, you must be doing moonwalks, so you'll be doing that. It's Friday again. You'll be going down your street. Get on to Barber's tonight. I'm famous, and they're gonna put me on the movies.
Oh yeah. Well, I think we ought to start as we need to go on. I've got a nice tequila here to start. Good out, sir. All the very best.
Nice to be in. Be nice when we've had a really hard day's Friday, and we can have a drink after. Well, hopefully, we can have a drink in the Barber's Arms on a Friday night when we go live with this. So that's going to be really interesting. I mean, look, I think it's been an interesting week again. I think everybody's now stopped worrying about what's going to happen and can't happen and what will happen. And I think what's happening now is people are getting excited and a bit more motivated of when they're going to go back. And that's what's really important to everybody, is that you've got to still keep safe. Let's not ruin it. I mean, I don't know about you. I saw the great weather in the UK last weekend, and I stayed in because of that Patron tequila flatlined me all weekend. I think they should fetch this out. The government should fetch this out and deliver one of these to every household. So when it's going to be a really nice weekend and they're scared of people going out, deliver this for Friday, come on to Barber's Arms, have 6 or 7 shots of them like I did last week, and then you're done for the weekend. You're not going out anywhere.
Wow. When did you recover last Sunday then? Because I know I spoke to you early morning and you were on about getting the park with the kids and that. Like, did you make it in the end or not?
No, well, I think we did a steady walk on Sunday afternoon at some point, but weather were really nice, so just stayed on patio and just chill. I was struggling. I was like that, dabbing water on my head all day, and I was really struggling, to be fair.
You did well last week. It was hilarious. I thought we had a really good show. I thought fantastic guests. I mean, we had Jawed Habib. I mean, what a legend he is, isn't he? I'd like to have a week on the beer with him.
Yeah, look, I think he was fantastic. He's got a massive following in India, and for all our Indian guests who are joining us again today, I have lots of messages about our Indian audience that's going to join us tonight. So come and start to everybody that's joining us from India. I know it's late for you guys, but welcome back into the arms. Hope you have a great evening with us. And for everybody who views this from now till next week, thanks for tuning in to us, and we're making this into a real fantastic global show. There's some real exciting things coming up for Barber's Arms. It's going from strength to strength. And we've also got some amazing guests, Gary. You were in the production meeting. Some of the guests that's lined up for the next 5 or 6 weeks is absolutely unbelievable. Everybody wants to be on Barber's Arms.
I know. It's quite funny, really, because, when we started this, it was a bit of a giggle, and we got, abused our position, I suppose, got friends and people who we know on. But now we're actually getting guests asking to come on. So, I mean, what a turnaround. It's been absolutely fantastic, hasn't it?
I had a few messages this morning saying, looking forward to tuning in tonight. Is there any chance that we can get on? And I'm like, look, we're going to put your name into the mix, but for the next 4 or 5 weeks, I think at least the guests are sewn up. And it's not just barbering as well, it's men's hairdressing. Hairdressers are joining in and enjoying Barber's Arms. And, we've got a fantastic regular clientele that comes into the bar as well. I'm sure you can mention a few, Gary, that's joining us every week.
Yeah, I mean, the guys who usually join us every week are. I mean, do you know what? I've been having a lot of messages off our American friends as well, in North America, Canada, Australia's been brought up today. But I'll give a shout out to a few. We got Bobby Thompson, who's in the States. He was in London with us in October. We got the girls in Canada at Pomps and Pin-Ups. We've got all the guys in California as well who've been out there and on the west and east coast. So Vancouver, we've had the guys on from there. They're following us every week. So it is literally a global show at the moment. I mean, it's just unbelievable. Fantastic.
I know. And then some local guys, got Carl Blake on. Hi, Blake, how you doing? Alison Russo from up in Scotland. You've got Vagabond Barbers. You've got Ross Carter. These guys are joining us every week. I know Ray Simmons will be on tonight. You'll have your mate from Stoke-on-Trent, Steve Aban. He'll be on. We've got a great people who, and it is becoming like a local pub, isn't it? We all meet every Friday night. Everybody's going to get. I know you've had the same conversation, but some guys are like, same as you get showered, you get ready, you put your aftershave on, you come and sit in your kitchen that is like in the bar, and you're ready for a night out. It's fantastic.
Well, you know what? I mean, Friday nights were like, never ever missed kind of thing, and our local bar. But you always had the characters, didn't you? There was always the guy in the corner who you started singing to himself at 10 to 11. You got the guys who always taking the mic and having the crack. And I think it'll be great when we take this on the road to have our local viewers, if you like, or the viewers in the Barbers' Arms. We all meet up and actually see them in person. How good would that be? It'll be like having a reunion of friends, won't it? I know we know a few of them anyway, but what a great episode that'd be.
It would be fantastic. I mean, there's some new flashes coming in as well, a bit of news that's coming in that moonshine sales have gone through the roof, which is really good. Adam Sloan's been made the chair of City and Guild, so congratulations to Adam. I know he's got a new appointment, so I know he's a big follower. We had Adam on the show as well. And did you know, I've got a question to ask you, Gary. What does a deaf gynecologist do?
Looks at Fujitsu's a lot, I should imagine.
No, he reads lips. Anyway, we got we launched our new website last week. I'll not say the other one I said to you this morning. We've got our new website, which is thebarbersarms.co.uk. You can also follow me on Simon Shaw Wahl on my Insta, or Gary on his Insta, which is the British Barber. We've got this podcast that's coming out as well, which you can watch on our website as well. The Barbers' Arms going from strength to strength and is going to be local to you guys, our grassroots barbers across the UK and across the globe. As soon as we can get out live after lockdown, it's safe to do so. We're going to be coming out and joining you. Tonight, Gary, is your special night as well.
Why is that?
Because it's Girl Power Night.
Oh yeah. Well, have you noticed I'm in pink tonight? I don't. I'm not scared of showing my feminine side, so I got my little pink number on, ready for the girls. I've also got a martini on the rocks for what we're gonna be showing them how to go on with that. So I thought it's a bit of a girly drink, so we'll do a martini for them as well. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
We've got a great cast tonight. We've got three from the British Isles, from England. Sophie from Wales.
Yeah, Sophie Collins.
Sophie Collins from Wales. Alison Brightwell from England. And we've got Andrea Raymond, who's one of my artistic team, a past winner of the Wahl British Barber of the Year, representing Southern Ireland as well. So they're going to do the British side. And tell us who's coming up from America, Gary.
So we've got a regular to the show. When I say a regular, she's been on once before. So we've got Karah Lynn, who's all the way from Arizona. She's operations manager for Sportclips. Then we've got Frankie Perez, who's an educator for Sportclips, actually works in the, I think it's San Diego. I think she's on that coast. She works in the San Diego location. And then we've also got Jasmine Ashby, who She's got 4 shops, I think. She's got Phantom Fade. So some great lady barbers. Looking forward to the crack and the, trying to keep them under control. So we've got to keep a tight ship tonight, or else we could be in trouble tonight.
Yeah, because those Yanks can talk on a little bit, so you need to be nice and strong. Use your when you sit at the barber council and you bang, order. That's what you need to do tonight. You need to be pulling it in tonight. You need to be making sure that you keep order with these girls. Because I tell you what I'd like to do with these as well. I'd like to get the views on how good they think they are in England, Wales, and in Ireland compared to the American girls as well. And let's stir the pot a little bit for these guys tonight. Let's see.
Definitely.
What everybody's saying this side of the pond and on the other. Fantastic for Rick Roberts to be joining us again. Rick was a great guest last week. I know he's got his gift from the BBA. Jackie and Ross are the suppliers now of the dealers of Patron Tequila. So Rick will be having a shot with us very shortly. Phil Jarman's joining us as well. Ryan Dutton, and there's again some nice familiars that are joining us, which is great to be on the arms. And God, Gary, you know what we should do after all this, don't you?
What's that?
Well, we're talking about going round to all these local boozers and going in to interview the barber of that area and have a celebrity guest on them from abroad. But we should really set up our own pub, really. We could be coining it in.
Do you know what? I know where there's one for sale as well. My old local. It doesn't look like this is what we were saying. A lot of pubs and a lot of businesses aren't getting opened back up. I don't think. I think pubs are really going to struggle, and there's going to be some cheap pubs out there. So there's always a chance. Trouble is, where are we going to do it? Are we going to do it in Staffordshire or in Yorkshire?
Well, that's why we're just going to jump in then. Straight away, you were saying, I know that there's one near us local. That's what I normally say. When I normally say to Gary, shall we meet up? He'll go, yeah, we'll meet halfway, Stoke-on-Trent. Because I like travelling.
Well, you're usually down south, aren't you?
I am down south, mate, you melt. Of course I'm down south. And it's nice that we've got a lot of Southerners. Nikos will be joining us tonight. It's nice to have everybody around. And I think, look, it'd be amazing if we could get somewhere central where people have travelled to us. But I think we'd be really busy just for the Friday nights. I think you're too busy with Empire of Barbershops, and I'm too busy with the job with Wahl. So on that one, hi to everybody at Wahl. Hi to everybody who's at Rogers Barbershops as well. I'm sure you're all tuning in and watching your chief there, Gary, do his strut on. They were trying to liken it today. Somebody said to me at Wahl today, they were trying to come up with like the two Ronnies or Antor Deck. I don't know. We're gonna have to come up with his own. With his own. I was thinking more like Rod and Emu, but we'll see how it goes tonight.
Well, I know you're partial to having your hand up some asses or that posterior somewhere, aren't you? Messing with...
Keep going. The dog keeps walking behind me. I keep going, good dog, good dog.
Anyway, what are you drinking tonight?
At the minute, I'm on Amigos, which is a nice beer with a little bit of tequila. Is that the doorbell, Gary?
It is. I think this is our first guest.
Okay. Coming into the Barber's Arms, who we got?
Come on in. I think it's Sophie. Sophie, can you hear us?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, how are you? Lovely to see you.
And you guys?
Hi, Sophie.
Hi, Simon.
Now you look like you're a party girl. You've gone for a tent kind of bar. So what's that festival bar somewhere? Where's that festival?
It's actually Bush's Bar in the Isle of Man, TT.
Oh, right.
Oh, wow. Nice one. Who else we got coming up, guys, with this British Isles quartet, triplets? So who's coming up next?
I think we've got another guest at the door. So Soph is all the way from Llanbedr. So we've got Andrea next, I think. How are we, Andrea?
Hello.
Hey, Andrea, how you doing?
Hello.
Top of the morning to you.
Hi.
How's things in Cork, Andrea? All good?
Okay. It's good.
Everything okay?
Yeah, it's getting there now.
Good. Oh, he's our third and final guest. So, Alison, are you there? Hi, Ali. Can you hear us? Hi, Ali.
Hiya.
How are you? Come a little bit closer, Ali, so we can hear you really well. That's it. Cool.
Hear me now?
Yeah, I've got you. How are you? So,
I'm good.
Alison.
How are
Alison,
you?
you're all the way up in Northeast, aren't you? You're in Durham, East Durham
I am.
College.
I
How are
am.
you? Everything good up there?
Everything really good, yeah. Just been busy with a bit of teaching from home, keeping my students on board with what they've got to do. But yeah, everything's good.
So, ladies, what we're going to do tonight, we're going to direct some questions at you because there's a lot of us on the screen tonight and we don't want to talk over each other. So what we're going to do is ask you some questions individually. We'll have the crack and, we'll, what we all drinking it. We'll start with Andrea. Andrea's at the far left of my screen. So we'll go Andrea, Alison, and then Sophie. What are you all drinking tonight?
Oh, I was hoping you would ask me. The cheapest red wine from Aldi.
So we got red wine.
These are really tough, but it's actually really nice. It's a really cheap €5.
I'll remember that when we go out for meals then on a Wahl budget. You're all in.
Oh, no. I'll have the expensive one then. That's fine.
Oh, well, there you go.
So, Alison, what are you drinking?
I've got me Prosecco. I'm a Prosecco
very
girl, so cheers. As you can tell, it's mine. It's got lipstick all around the glass.
And Sophie, what are you drinking?
The faithful pink gin and lemonade.
Oh, fantastic. Well, cheers, guys, and thanks for coming on. All the very best.
Cheers.
Thank
Nice
you.
to have you on the Barbers Arms. I'm sure you've all been tuning in every week. Andrea, if you could come a little bit closer as well, because your microphone, we need it in so we can hear you. We're going to start with some questions. So I'll ask the question, and it's just kind of to all of you to answer individually. We're going to do it different tonight. We normally build a profile up of each guest that we have on, but tonight we thought we'd just go for some different questions from me and Gary, and then we just want a quick general chat about the industry and how you think we compare as female barbers to our American colleagues across the pond. So first question, I'll aim it to you, Andrea, first of all, and then Sophie, and then Alison, if that's okay.
Yep.
Fine.
Andrea, if you had to relive one part of your career, what would it be?
It's pretty obvious, I think, but well, actually, no, it's not. I was going to say winning the Barber of the Year, but obviously that was like a massive highlight. But I think the biggest thing was stage at my first salon, because I think that was just really surreal, and it was amazing to be like part of the team, feel the buzz walking out on stage. And this day, the Pirates of the Caribbean team song really like in my head, because that's what I had going for when we came out on stage, and just that would be the highlight, doing my first show and just getting a feel for what it was really like. And straight away, I was like, I really.
And do you kind of relive that sometimes in your head? I know when I've done something really good on a stage or a platform, I'll be driving my car, I'll put that piece of music on, and I kind of relive it in my head. It gives me goosebumps. So is it that's something that you would do as well?
Yeah, exactly. The Pirates of the Caribbean, and what was the other one? Oh, the Pharrell Williams one. Is it Pharrell Williams? I don't know. I'm really bad with songs now. I Got This Feeling, that one. You always put that one on.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Yeah, that whatever that one is. I don't even know the name of it. But yeah, that.
Well,
that really
I have to say, Andrea, and I said to the guys when we seen you coming up as a guest, and I'll say it in front of everybody else, because I love to praise people, as you know, and you know my team talks are legendary. But I have to say, and I'm going to say it to all the thousands of people who's going to view this, you're watching on this screen Andrea Raymond, who is by far one of the best female barbers, not in the UK, and she's not one of the best barbers in Europe, and she's certainly not one of the best barbers in Cork. She's definitely, though, as today in 2020, she's one of the best female barbers in the world.
Thank you.
And when I say that, I mean against the male guys as well. She cuts hair unbelievably well. She's got massive respect from the Wahl team and the Wahl guys globally. So, look, you know.
Can I just, girls? I don't know if you've been watching the show, but I have to keep an eye on Simon because he's a bit of a lightweight. He's been dipping out, so every time we hear this,
Hey!
every time we hear the sound effect, we have to have a shot. So every time we hear the hee-ha, we have to have a shot.
Gary, look though. Instead of using the Patron cup last week, which got me K-line, I've actually bought some little short plastic glasses that you get in. Just to keep myself on the trap. Right, we'll have a shot anyway, but thanks, Andrea. Sophie, if you had to relive one part of your career, what would it be?
To win the Britain's Best Shave competition in 2017.
Fantastic.
And I think that's pretty much it. I wouldn't want to change anything apart from that.
Yeah,
Sophie, coming from, just give everybody a bit of background. You've got your own barbershop in Wales, and it's a part of the world. It's a beautiful part of the world. Just tell us whereabouts you are and how long you've been barbering and what did you actually do? How long have you had the shop?
Well, basically we're probably in the middle of nowhere. We're in a place called Llanbedr near Shell Island.
I know it very well.
A place where people like to go camping for cheap. I've been running my own barbershop now since 2014. I was a hairdresser prior to barbering. Back then we had to do hairdressing before we could do the barbering course. So I've been sitting here for about 10 years now and loving it.
Loving it, and wouldn't change a thing.
No, I wouldn't change a thing.
Perfect.
So, Alison, you've done so much for British colleges delivering barbering. You know, I came up to Eastern College years ago with Phil Wahl, actually, who was a guest on Barbers' Arms a few weeks ago, one of the Wahl family, if you remember.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think you've really championed what a lot of barbers over the years sometimes have worried about colleges, how they deliver barbering. You've been one of the pioneers to really put barbering at the forefront of qualifications, but the way you've delivered it how barbershops would want it to be delivered. So you've had a great career in barbering, so congratulations on that. If you had to relive one part of your career though, and it's not so much, when I say relive it, it's something that's really good, not like something bad, but if you had to relive one part of your career, what would it be?
Well, obviously I've had some brilliant moments in my career, but if I had to relive one, it's got to be when I won Teacher of the Year. To me, I mean, I've had some amazing, you know, experiences of winning Barber Awards and things like that, which is massive to me. But to actually win me Teacher of the Year award, if I could relive that again, I'd like to do it every day. It was fabulous. And that's a really proud moment for me, and I'll hang on to that forever. You know, that was really cool.
Because that just weren't teachers in hairdressing and barbering, were it? That were teachers,
wasn't
like history teachers, geography teachers, maths teachers. It was the biggest accolade that you could win if you're delivering education.
I mean, it was bizarre. Obviously, I knew nothing about it, and it was the college I worked that nominated me, and it was the TESS Award, which was for all of FE. So every college in the UK can enter that, and it's for all subjects. So when we did go to the finals, I didn't find out until I was shortlisted as a finalist with about 7 other people, and it was maths teachers and different subjects. So when I did get to the finals, hand on heart, I really didn't think I would have any way of winning it, because I think a lot of people over the years have looked at hairdressing, barbering, we very vocational, we practical. So academically, they don't think that, you know, that you maybe up there to be able to win something like that, because it's, you know, it's that kind of area. So for me to win it within barbering and hairdressing and teaching in the areas that we are working in, it was a little bit of a double whammy there. I just couldn't believe that I'd gone up against maths teachers and other things and come out on top of that for that year, which was just amazing. So I'll never forget that. It's a big part of my career.
Yeah, he's fantastic. All that.
I think what a lineup, and we're having some feedback now. I think because we can't actually see Facebook Live, we're going off our director, who's Trevor, who's in Adelaide, but we're getting some great feedback from, and just congratulating you all on what fantastic careers you've got and what a stand-up people you are for the industry as well. I know we're sticking to some questions, but some of the questions that the guys want to know as well is, what actually made you want to get into the industry in the first place? Did you fall into it? I know between you've got a lot of experience. Sophie obviously a lot younger, but what actually made you want to get into the industry in the first place? And I'll send that to Andrea to start off with. Andrea?
Okay, so when I was in school, all the subjects that I would have excelled at would have been art and construction and practical subjects, yeah. And obviously in school there was no hairdressing or anything of those kind. So I wanted to do something along the lines of the creativity, but not be teaching or not going to art college. So when I went to my career guidance counsellor, she advised me that I should go into teaching young kids, and I didn't like that. I felt like it was kind of a bit pushy. So if anything, I actually rebelled, and I was like, no, I'm going to do hairdressing just because she told me I shouldn't. So I went to a hairdressing college. I did that for nearly 2 years and I loved it, but there was just something missing. So I went into the barbering course at nighttime, and I realized this is what I like to do, because in art and school, I liked to create shadows and contrast and all those kind of things, and create shapes is what I like to do. And if you had gone to art college, they nearly tell you what to do. I wanted to have my own style and my own artistic flair. So I think barbering just fell into place for me then. So yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
The thing is, with you three guys, I mean, we could have you as an advert for all our colleges and young people, because it's what you can aspire to. It isn't just about standing behind a chair. You've all shown competitions, teaching, being on an artistic team, owning your own businesses. It's such a great advert for barbering, for British barbering as well. So I really thank you for coming on, and we might be making a little promo out of this, just on your say-so. So, Sophie, you're next up. What made you get into the industry?
It's a bit like Andrea, to be fair. I went to college, went to school, loved art, went to college, did 2 years in college doing art and design, loved it, and then realised I wanted something more. And again, I then went and did hairdressing, and then got up to my level 3, and then I thought, do you know what, I can do my barbering course now. I'll do that, and I got an apprentice to being a barber. And then it went on from then. Started my own barbershop within a year after that, and then never looked back. And
fantastic. So, I mean, your story again, it's all about, I mean, you're very confident women, obviously, but it's all about taking the bull by the horns, really. You knew what you wanted. It wasn't something you fell into, or almost. It was, you really knew what you wanted to do from the start. So that's fantastic. Alison, give us your story then. What made you go into barbering? What was the pull for you?
Well, I'll be honest. I mean, from being really young and really small, I just loved. I used to go to the hairdressers with my mum, and I just loved the atmosphere. I loved this, and I just was mesmerised watching them sort of be so creative. So my career started in hairdressing, really. But from being really young, I just knew that even when I was at school and leaving school, I knew that was the road that I wanted to go down, and that was exactly what I did. And I did the apprenticeship route. Back in my day, it was YTS. I did day release at East Durham College, where I am now. So I loved the college day there as well, and obviously working in a salon. But then after I'd done my level, 2, 3 hairdressing, I always did men's hair anyway, and then I was always looking sort of for more quality. I've always been a bit of a, education qualification geek type of thing. So I was looking for more. And so then I did me barbering as well after that. And I just loved the fact of, I had my own salon for a few years, and I really loved training people and training the younger ones. The teaching was something that I had a flair for as well. And I thought I would really love to be able to pass that on to younger students and pass my knowledge on. And I wanted to do hairdressing and barbering, which when I first started teaching was both, but I just fell in love with barbering as well. So that's my main area now, even though I'm still sort of ladies hairdresser too, but barbering's me main area. I work in industry on a weekend and stuff like that. I love me barbering, love that now. So
fantastic. Simon, you're back. Have you
I had me Amazon delivery of alcohol for a week, so that's just arrived. I tried to get it in before a Friday, but obviously you can't rely. Sometimes it's busy on lockdown, so deliveries don't always come in on time. We're getting lots of messages in, guys, saying girl power. Great addition to have you guys on this Barbers Arms on the 9th edition. Another question I have to you all, and then we'll just have a chat after this, because obviously time's pressing on. You've been great so far as well, guys, so thank you so much for travelling into Barbers Arms. Is that shot time?
Shot time!
Okay, so I've got my little measure though this time, because otherwise I get really told off by, that dog that keeps walking up and down behind me. Good dog.
Girls, we love you.
Hold on, guys. Wait for me, Gary. Bloody hell, I can't keep
Come on, Simon.
Wait. Cheers to girl power on Barbers Arms. We've got a little miniature Patron, which is one of my favourite tequilas now.
cheers.
Love you.
Simon,
Next question. Yes, sorry, Andrea.
you always say that Wahl is global, not local,
Yeah.
and you claim that we're the best in the world.
Yeah.
I think for you to prove that point, you're going to have to take a second shot.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, who's interviewing who here? What the bloody hell's happening here? Hey? I'm spilling tequila all over my notepad, all over my iPad. I can't.
Fast, just go straight.
Ready? Here we go then. Well, we always might. Gary will join in, whether he's global or not. He loves it. He travels more than me. Ready? Down the hatch, everybody. Cheers.
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 Stop it now, Andrea. Next question. Woo! It's Friday again. Right, guys. Question. We'll start for you, Alison, because you went last time. So, when you've watched Barbers Arms, we ask silly questions like, if you had a ideal dinner date, who would it be, and stuff like that. We thought tonight, we've been girl power. We want to keep this nice and serious for you as well. So, Alison, and this will go to you, Andrea, and it'll go to you, Sophie. If you had to do one last haircut, what would that haircut be? So you're in a room, you've got a model, fantastic model, who's got medium length hair, loads of hair to work with, and they said, this is your last haircut. What would you want to be remembered? What is the last haircut that you guys would do? We'll start off with you, Alison.
Wow, it's quite a hard one, but I think now I would love to do somebody with a bit of more length on the hair, wavy movement, scissor haircut with maybe like a taper rather than a fade. So that's just me at this moment in time. Love fades, love all of that, but if I had to do one last haircut, it would definitely be length, because I would want to work with some length and be creative with movement, texture, and maybe just a little taper. So that's mine.
Okay, thank you, Alison. And Sophie, if you had to do one last haircut on this planet, what would it be?
I'd have to go for a skin fade with a crop. Got to be. I don't know why, I just love doing them, and I think that is what I'm known for. So to me, if I can go out the world giving a skin fade, then that'll be the last thing I do.
Well, look, it's your last haircut, and it's very now, and we just want to know, because it's good for our viewers afterwards as well. Got some questions coming for all the viewers as well, which we want some nice answers back this week off you guys while you're watching having your bacon sandwiches tomorrow and Sunday and stuff like that. Nice to have Eric Lander joining us, Ellie McCann. Ray Simmons has joined us now, shouting it up from Scotland. So it's nice to have all you guys joining us again. So coming to you, Andrea, if you had one last haircut to do, what would it be?
So listening to the girls, I would agree with Alison with the longer cut, a really nice clipper all over, but scissors cut, do you know, that style. But then again, a skin fade, the satisfaction of a really good blurred out skin fade. But really, like, kind of throwing this out of the bag now, I find a 4 back and sides really satisfying, because I think when you're on the floor all day and you're doing skin fade after skin fade, and then you've got your longer cuts, and then someone comes in with a 4 back and side, it's kind of like a breath of fresh air, and it just sits for you no matter what hair it is. It's just lovely, and it's and I think, like, if I was to do a skin fade before I went out, even though I love doing them and I know I can do them, I think I'd probably die anxious. Whereas if I did a 4 back and side, I'd be like, oh, that's nice and satisfying now. That's to my standard. So, yeah.
I think it's nice. You know, I'm asking these questions, and while I'm asking them, I don't know about you guys, I'm thinking, well, what would I do? What would my last haircut be?
No.
Simon,
Yeah.
do you think that's wise?
What?
You doing a haircut?
Well, I'm thinking, what would last haircut I'd do? It would be like a proper skinhead on myself.
I was just going to say it'd be yourself, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
It'd have to be myself. I mean, I did used to have a mullet in the day, but there you go. Then we'll have to get them photographs until later.
Simon, the trouble is with us. We've got a lot to. We've gone through a lot of trends. We've gone through a lot of stuff that's been really popular. I mean, you're a lot older than me as well, so you know you'd remember them. So can you imagine if somebody said that to you? And I mean, what we've done over our careers, 35, 36 years career. I mean, can you imagine how many trends we've gone through and come back and then reappeared, and then, you know, it's just unbelievable when you think of your career, really.
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the biggest styles when I first started in '85 would have been a kind of mullet, shorter on top, cut around the ears, longer at back, and then the guys used to have a soft perm as well. I used to love blow drying them in salon, and I used to love, because as a junior, you used to neutralise the perms, and then if you were progressing through, you'd end up blow drying after the stylist had cut them as well. And I used to love doing it because it were obviously classed as a footballer's cut. But yeah, probably that would be for me. It'd be a kind of a nice mullet, which I know mullets are coming back, or they're already back in. But yeah, probably for me, it'd be a mullet.
Fantastic. So, girls, we've got another question. Have you got another question there, Simon, or do you want? I
have got another question, and this is like we'll start off with you, Andrea, because you went last. No, we'll start off with you, Sophie. You can answer first on this one. It's a bit of a daft question, but I just like to know a little bit about how your minds work as well. Sophie, if you win the lottery tomorrow night and it's a nice figure, let's just say it's over £1 million, what would be the first thing you treat yourself to?
Brand new motorbike.
Brand new motorbike. Any particular type? Is the out that you're fancying in your head? If you've got enough money now, you go buy it.
A nice Royal Enfield.
A Royal Enfield. See, I'm not into motorbikes, but I do know what an Enfield is. It's classic-y looking, isn't it?
It's very classic, isn't it?
Yeah.
Simon, I don't know if you know this about our Soph, but she's a bit of an extreme sportswoman. This lady, she races motorbikes, you know.
Wow.
Hence the TT.
Hey, listen, Sophie, you know, you're winning hairdressing competitions and barbering competitions, and then obviously you're doing motorbike competitions as well. Fair play to you. Proper girl power.
Yeah, cutting John McGuinness's hair at one of my race meetings as well.
Is that the guy with the big sides and does all the... No, it's
not. The other one.
John McCrillick, that one.
John McGuinness.
You know what I mean, though, guys? Yeah, I'm going to say, they got no fucking hair. How are you cutting his hair?
Wrong, Gracie.
The shots are hitting in. The shots are getting into the system just as we're speaking, Mr. Machin. Andrea, if you win the lottery this weekend down in Cork, besides buying yourself a lifetime of potatoes, what would you treat yourself to? What would be the first thing that you'd probably go out and treat yourself to?
I don't know. It's a bit cliche kind of thing. I'd probably buy myself a house, but I have a really weird obsession with artificial plants, and I think I'd fill my house with artificial plants. It's really weird, but I just love plants. Like, I'd love a house with really, you know, like draping plants off the walls and they just make me feel happy. And like at the moment we're doing up the shop before we open again, and half of it where we're kind of doing a bit of renovation, I keep saying to my business partner, I can't wait till we can get some plants and we can get onto IKEA and get some artificial plants, and I want to get it tattooed and everything. And people are like, have you no other better obsessions? Like, no, I don't think I do.
Do you know what though, Andrea? I've got to say, that is weird.
It is weird. I am
You
there.
win the lottery and you want to go to bastard IKEA and buy some artificial plants. Taxi for sure, please. Can you get me a taxi, barmaid? Get me a taxi. I'm out of here.
In my new mansion house, though. That's
just wait. The Wahl WhatsApp group is going crazy at the minute watching this, saying that you're buying artificial plants.
They're
Gary,
going to be a new group
please
and
help.
throw me out.
Andrea,
Yeah.
Andrea, you know what you're gonna get for every birthday, Christmas, and everything now, don't you? You're gonna
That
that
was the whole reason behind it, Gary. That was it. Yeah.
Gary, before I move on to Alison, what I'd like to do as well is for all those viewers who watch this in the next week as well, just send us a comment on if you had to do one last haircut, what would it be? And let's have a little vote next week to say which haircut came out on top from our little poll here. So to all our viewers who's going to watch us, and there'll be a lot of comments there for Trevor to administer because we had 85,000 views last week. But if you can get the time to put your comments in and ask which haircut, if it was the last haircut you had to do, which haircut would it be? And that'll be really good. Alison, if you win the lottery, what would you treat yourself to?
I think if I won the lottery now and we were coming out of lockdown, I would just like a really lovely holiday abroad, to be able to fly somewhere and go somewhere and just enjoy a holiday like we could do, rather than obviously everything that's been sort of limited lately. That and a new car. So two things.
Well,
Fantastic.
That's really nice of all of you. I think, you know, it's do you know what as well, Gary? I think sometimes when people are asked that question, if you ask me, I'd be like, how much have I won? Because I'd spent first million in about 3 days.
just a little story, and Rachel's upstairs. She'd be laughing her head off at this, but you know when we try and take little hints off women, and you know they drop hints to say, oh, what would you like for your birthday? You try and remember them, and you know if you got any money you wanted to, and you were like, oh, what am I going to buy for Christmas or birthday or whatever? One day she says, I need a new pair of walking. We've been out walking somewhere, walking the dog or whatever, and she says she just can't, just you know, about June time. Her birthday's in November, so I thought I know what I'm going to get her for a birthday now. I bought her a pair of hiking boots. She was not happy. You women, I tell you, you're hard work. You'll say, oh, I want something, and then when we remember, I thought June, November, I've remembered it. Hiking boots. She was not happy, I tell you. So just don't tell us anymore, women, because we take these things in, you know.
Hey, listen, my girlfriend heard me. She saw me doing something, putting something up. She went, "I'm going to buy you a drill at Christmas." And so what I did is I got her a copy of The Driller Killer on DVD for her to watch as well. So I never got that drill that Christmas, but that a good counteraction into that. Watch this DVD.
I actually did get a drill this Christmas.
You did get a drill this Christmas.
Yeah. So
that's enough about your bedroom life, Andrea. Easy now. It's a family show. It's after Watershed.
It was a proper Black & Decker one because there's 5 kids in my family. So, no, it's proper one.
You're digging.
So,
stop digging, Andrea. It's a Black & Decker.
Fuck off, I won't tell you the story, so.
Oh my God, Black & Decker drill. So girls, just we've got some American girls coming on from different parts, and one of them's coming from the Sportclips group, which is a really big group in America. just generally, and whoever wants to answer first is, what's your, because obviously there's a lot of competition in especially with, as you know, the celebrity barber or the educator barber that's out there. They compete quite a lot against each other, but you don't really hear it or see it from your female barbering or the female editor side. What is your views on the barbering over the pond in America from the females? Do you follow female barbers in America? Do you watch them? And if you do so, what's your thoughts? Do you think you guys are far more advanced here in the UK, Wales, Scotland and Ireland, or do you think it's pretty even?
Who's that going to?
Yeah.
Whoever wants to answer first. Andrea.
I wouldn't necessarily say that Europeans and, like, say, British and Irish people are better than people in America. I just think we excel at different things. Like, I think British and Irish people and some European countries would be ahead in certain styles, whereas some of the American barbers would be better at afro hair and braids and that kind of likes, because I think they get to do them a lot more. Like, I know in Britain it's a bit different, but in Ireland we wouldn't get to do afro hair half as much as you would over there, which is kind of disappointing because I love doing it. But say in America, I think like a proper afro cut and proper braids is amazing. Like, I think they'd excel at that. But it's such a big country and it's such a big state that there's just people of all talents, and I don't think we even know half the people out there. Half the people that are so talented aren't even on social media. We haven't even seen them yet. So I wouldn't really compare us to them. I would just say it's a very different style coming over from there, or vice versa, my opinion.
Thank you. Sophie?
Yeah, I agree with Andrea. We're the same where I am. I don't get to cut any afro hair. And again, I love, when I trained, I was able to train on a couple of heads, and it, like she said, it's exactly different, but it's the same kind of thing in Ireland and Wales against, obviously, in London and places like that. Obviously it's it's pretty much similar to over in American places like that. I just think, like Andrea said, they're not actually known yet over here.
Yeah.
I think what it is with, I'm just jumping in here. If you haven't travelled a lot anyway, it's quite hard to answer that question anyway, Simon, isn't it? I mean, I know we travel a lot and we try and build a profile of what we're talking about, but I think these guys, especially being in, isolated, we've got the northwest of England, we've got Wales, we've got Ireland. Andrea's probably the one who travels internationally for work, but I think it's, unless you're on social media a lot, it's very hard to, I mean, I'm not a social media guy really, even though we do this and I love it. I can't say that I follow a lot of barbers, and I think we're
but I think the younger generation do.
Yeah, we're so busy working and making a living when you've got your own businesses, and you're quite right. It's probably an age thing with me as well, but I think it's quite hard to America or North America, what I should say is, it's such a huge place that from the east to the west coast, it's a continent in itself, isn't it? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, the state of Illinois is nearly as big as the UK. So, and Alison, same question. Do you follow people on Instagram in America? What do you think your work's like compared to theirs?
Very similar to what the girls have just said, really. Again, I mean, the clipper work in afro hair, I think it's always been pretty big over America anyway, even before, like when you look back on sort of some old TV, if you see things from years ago with the likes of Will Smith and people like that, clipper work and fades were pretty big back then over there. I think they're quite artistic when it comes to sort of designs and patterns and stuff like that in the hair from the ones that I follow, even though we do that over here, but it's not massive like for sort of everyday looks, is it? It's more sort of catwalky and competition and things like that. But yeah, I think it's like everything, it's different cultures, isn't it? I mean, where I teach, we don't get hardly any Afro or, you know, different cultures. But when I'm in Durham on a Saturday, I'm really quite lucky because Durham University is right next to where the barbershop is that I work, so we get a lot of different cultures coming through the door, so they're really lucky in the city of Durham. You know, you get people from all over the world who'll come in, so we do get a lot more you know, type 3, type 4 hair, so it's great practice for them. But just like you say, it's nice as well, I think, from a woman's perspective of barber, and I'm sure the girls will agree with us over here, and I'm sure they're probably the same in America. You do see a lot of that really competitive edge with the gents. But from all the barber and females that I'm in touch with and who I know, a lot of it's about supporting each other and having sort of girl power, and rather than sort of really competing against each other and seeing whose work is better than, like, I love to see other female barbers thrive, and I don't ever feel sort of threatened. Like, I know that there's people out there who's loads better than me, but I love to see that, do you know what I mean? And just loving to see female barbers do really well, where I think the guys are great as well, but I do think there's a lot more
competition.
Yeah,
I don't know what the guys think on what I've just said. I don't know.
Yeah, I think, look, it's a tough question because obviously you've got to be in that era as well, and we've got to be in that point where you are completely competing every day. You know, Gary, some barbers, they're on, I fuck knows how they can cut any hair because they're on their Instagram maybe 20, 30 times a day. It does take time. I've watched people sometimes, and they spend a lot of time at weekends, a lot of time researching. They're always onto the phones, and you know, fair play to them. It's that's the time of it is. Caroline's just saying as well from America. Just want to say thank you, ladies, for your great influence. Glad to see you all on Barber's Arms today. We love to educate as well on Barber's Arms as well, and we've got lots of things coming up in the future. What we're going to try and do and really take Barber's Arms to a different level. So I'd like to give you some education as well here on confidence. If I was asked that question on a panel like you guys, I'd be like, yeah, of course I'm better than them. Have you never seen me on stage? I'm fucking shit up. And I'm miles. I ain't seen anybody in America that can lace my boots. I would turn up on any stage and grace any stage across the globe because that's what I do. That's what I am. So fetch your best ones over from America. I'm ready. I'm global, not fucking local.
Simon.
Yes, mate.
You say that to whoever was in front of you, though.
Yeah.
Listen, Andrea will tell you. She's travelled with me. She's been to different places with me, and she's seen lots of stuff in London at Sal International. And she knows what our team talks are like. I make her feel invincible before they go out there.
Yeah.
Girls, you've been amazing. You've really made girl power come on force today, and I'm sure any female barbers and male barbers that's watching will be inspired by your stories tonight, your candor that you've had with me and Gary, and you know, just generally what you're doing for this industry. You're great people. That's why you're on Barber's Arms. And from my point of view, stay safe over the next 4 or 5 weeks. Let's do the things right. I hope you all get back to your businesses, and I hope you all do really well when you get back. And I hope you keep watching Barber's Arms and keep tuning into us. I'll hand you over to Deck, and he'll finish off.
Girls, first of all, I'd like to toast your health because you've been absolutely fantastic. Thank you for giving us your time.
Cheers.
Thank you. Cheers.
Good health, all the very best. But as well, I mean, I said it earlier, this could be a promo for the industry, for getting young ladies into, and gents as well, into the industry. We've got a fantastic industry, got fantastic education in this country. But also, like to just remind you on as well, Simon, we did an economic impact report for the Barber Council, Hair Council, and there's more ladies in this industry than there is gents. So power to you, ladies.
Girl power.
Well done, guys. Thanks to Sophie Collins, Alison Brightwell, and ANDREA Raymond. First time in the Barber's Arms, but thank you very much for joining us. Thank you, guys.
Bye.
Gary, I love that. That was so different and refreshing to the fantastic guests that we've had on so far. But nice to have a beer with the girls. It's listen, if we're in a boozer and those three come in, we'd want to sit with them anyway. So it's just really nice, isn't it, to have a beer with them.
Fantastic. And we have done that a number of times. Well, I think you have anyway with Andrea, but they're nice people. And I think what you gravitate to people you like, don't you? If you like somebody, if you friends with somebody, you like something about them. That's why you gravitate to nice people. So, and it's great when we have people like that on because they're great.
I mean, Andrea's only early 20s. So from winning the Wahl British Barber of the Year, then to opening her own shop, Asylum, in Southern Ireland. Not just females, but males looking at her. Wow. It's just like, what an achievement. And same with Sophie, you know, she's gone out and won a competition with the BBA, and then she's gone on to do a salon and motorbike competitions. And
you ought to see the videos, man. She's awesome. She's unbelievable.
And Alison as well, you know.
And then you've got Alison, who's, you know, top of the tree, leading the industry. She's on C&G board, you know, the industry board. She sits up for me on the Barber Council. She brings a lot to that as well. You know, the great ambassadors for the industry, aren't they? And up and coming.
Yeah, Gary, I wanted to say to you, when we finish with our American female guests, I think because they're not far away, I think just pulling into the car park on the pub car park. I want to talk to you about the panel that you sat on Monday, just to give our viewers a little bit of insight if they didn't watch the roundtable that you were sat on Monday. I just want to ask you a few questions about that. I think the girls are ready to come in. Guys, in between, while waiting for the girls as well, if you want to visit us on the Barbers' Arms, thebarbersarms.co.uk, or you can visit us at Simon Shaw Wahl on my Insta, or the British Barber, which is Gary's Instagram. You can follow us all on there. You can watch the podcast and find out the information about Barbers' Arms. Coming up in the next few weeks, we've got some amazing guests. Some of the biggest names in the industry are going to be joining us in the Arms for some beers on a Friday night. Okay, let's all the way over from the pond. Gary, do you want to do some introductions?
Yeah, so we've got three fantastic barbers all the way from North America. We've got Karah Lynn, she is the operations leader and manager, area manager for Sportclips. She's based in Arizona. Absolutely lovely lady. She's the first guest to ever come on the Barbers' Arms twice. So that's fantastic. We've got Frankie Perez, who's an educator at Sportclips. She's an artistic team member. She's fantastic. Been in the industry a long time. And then we've got Jasmine Ashby, who's Phantom Fades, owns 4 shops, and she's from Arizona as well. So Jasmine, how are you?
Good. How about yourself?
Fantastic. Better for seeing you.
Hey, Jasmine.
Hey.
So Jasmine, you were working for Sportclips, I think, for a long time, and then you branched out on your own. You decided to take the leap and go self-employed. Just give us a little background chat of what you are and where you're from.
Well, grew up here in Arizona. Gilbert. Not many of you guys probably don't know Gilbert, but I've been in hair for 10 years. I worked at Sportclips for about 3 years, and then I went to another company, worked there for about 3 years, and decided back in last year, probably around November, that I was going to go out on my own and start a business with 2 other fantastic women that are also barbers. I am also in school too. So I'm a business owner, I'm a student. I'm actually going to school to become a registered dietitian too.
Fantastic.
And I'm a phlebotomist too.
We've got another guest in, Gary.
Yeah. Okay, so we've got another guest coming. Who's knocking at the door at the moment? Hey, how are you? Is that Frankie?
Yes, it is.
Can you hear me? Yeah?
I can hear you. I can hear you.
Hi, Frankie. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Welcome to the Barbers' Arms. It's great having you on tonight. Frankie, I'll just give you two very short minutes. If you can, just introduce yourself, who you are, what you are, and how long you've been in the industry. Just give our viewers an idea of where you're from and what you do.
Hey everyone, my name is Frankie Perez and I am from California and I currently live in San Diego. I grew up in Los Angeles, California, and that's pretty much where I started to get into the barber culture. Barbershops was back in LA. Started with kind of cutting my friend's hair and cutting my own hair. As you can see, I wear a pretty short style. So I started experimenting with my own hair. And when I realized that I could actually make money doing it and I enjoyed doing it, later in my life, after having several jobs, I went to barber school. Probably the best decision I've ever made for myself. Hey there.
Electric shock, but I need to say no. Nice to have you with us, Frankie. Who's our next guest, Gary?
So our next guest is Jasmine Ashby. Not Jasmine,
No.
sorry. Karah.
Gary. What the heck? We just officially broke up.
You've been messaging me so much. I thought you were my wife at one point.
Well, I'm not anymore. Jesus.
Sorry, Karah.
You're good.
You become a regular. You're officially the most regular guest on the show.
Well, that speaks volumes for how many shows there's been. So thank you.
Karah, just quickly, and I mean quickly, 2 minutes. Just give us a quick bio on who you are, what you are, for our new viewers.
Barber started, straight stylist, started with Sportclips, worked my way up at management, went into direct operations, area manager, now work as private consulting operations on my own, training, leading, and working within the store all myself. That's what it is.
She's good. She's good.
That was the quickest, best intro I've ever heard in my life.
That worked quick.
So.
That worked quick, Karah.
Short and straight to the point.
What are you gonna do?
Girls, what are you all drinking tonight?
Girls?
So I went ahead and bought something special for you and Simon. It's not gravy like you asked, like Simon, but I got some old speckled hen.
It's nice.
It's a little bit better. I figured, not the gravy, but close. So that's what you got from me today.
I love that. He'll probably hate it.
No, I've had it before. I actually love it. So
no, I think it's not about me. For the new girls that's just joining us, you can tell I come from the north part of England, so we've got a really strong Yorkshire accent. And apparently, if you do drink lots of gravy, it develops your accent a lot stronger. So I know Kaya's been trying to do that to develop an American Yorkshire twang to her accent. So great to have you on the Barber's Arms. I'm sure you've been watching anyway, and if you were a guest this week, you'll have seen how many views we get at this show. So 84.5 thousand views we had last week on this one. So it's going to be well watched afterwards. So we've got some questions that we're going to ask you guys, and just a general chat about a few things. Did you watch the English girls that were on from Ireland, Wales, and England? Did you watch the girls on?
Yeah,
I was watching. Yeah,
I was watching too.
Yep.
I was trying to stir the pot a little bit, but they weren't taking. They were too political correct.
Yeah, I saw that, Simon. I told Trevor I'm going to trick you. I saw that.
Yeah, well, we can rely on you, Karah, to mix the pot up again. So hopefully when we come to them questions, we can get a debate stirring up a little bit and get a little bit of interaction with our viewers afterwards and find out a little bit about what's happening. But I know, girls, Gary does a lot of work in America. As you know, I work for Wahl, so obviously we're based in America. And I know we do quite a lot of work with some of the guys at Sportclips as well. So I know you'll have some of our educators coming in to do some work with you. But I know Gary comes out to America quite a lot as well. So if you can get some supplies of moonshine in, if he does come and does a tour again of America, we like to have some moonshine. And he does that. We've got some nice guests joining us again. Michelle Caprio from Australia. We've got John Grosvenor, We've got Tia Diaz as well, who's joined us. So we've got lots of new people who's joining us tonight. So it's all good stuff. Gary, are we going to start with some questions for these guys?
Oh yes, I'm sure we will. But first of all, you guys, this in America at the moment, or I know you were all based in America. I know San Diego very well. I haven't been to Arizona, but for you guys, are you just quickly before we start the questions? Are you all back at work now?
Yes.
Yep. Friday was my first day.
Yeah, Frankie's the one most behind us on this. She just opened. They just opened California where she's at.
So Frankie, when did you open?
We got the word on Thursday that we can open. My boss wanted to open right away, so my store started opening on Friday. I was back to work on Friday, right the next day.
No way. So how's that gone?
You know, we're really busy. Everybody's really excited to see us. They're being very generous, and I think that they kind of took us for granted a little bit. So I think they're just really happy to have us back and to be cutting their hair again. I've had at least 4 quarantine haircuts. I thought I was going to have more than that, but I've only had about 4.
Okay. So you're based in San Diego, aren't you, Frankie?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, cool. So you other guys, you're based in Arizona. When did you guys go back?
We went about the 8th of May.
8th of May. So Jasmine, how's it been since you've gone back?
Very busy. I just switched back to full-time in the salon and left the hospital that I was working at to be able to overtake the amount of clientele that I had.
Okay.
I had a couple quarantine cuts. They were the wives doing it.
Yeah.
I just don't even know where to go with that one. It was very entertaining to try and fix them. A lot of tapers.
Oh,
a lot of tapers. I do have to say, we should take shots every time you say America. Just gotta throw that out there.
America.
Yes.
America.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it's in America.
This is the trick, though, girls. This is the trick now. After 9 weeks on Barber's Arms and the horrific hangovers that I've been suffering, and the explanations I've had to do at Wahl HQ, obviously on my Skype calls and from a distance, this is the
baby
cure
shot.
to it.
I was gonna say baby shot.
The baby shot.
Well, you guys don't want to know what I'm drinking right now.
Oh no.
Corona.
Do you know that the sales of Corona lager in the UK have gone through the roof?
That's
I can't. I'm not even drinking, so I can't. I'm drinking amino acids.
So I'm on cinnamon whiskey at the moment. So
nice. Cheers.
Gary, I love it, Gary, when I'm doing some talking. One sec. I don't even do shots. What's wrong with me? Oh, this is Trevor telling me that he knows when I fake it, so I'm not faking it anymore. And now, honestly, I love it when I'm talking, Gary, and I'm in deep conversation because I look into the corner of the screen, I can see you naked back. It's like being in a proper booth, and I'm giggling to myself while I'm talking to the guests. And I can see Gary back going, yep, keep talking, pal, keep talking.
Me and Gary are like, we're spirit animals, me and Gary. As you guys are talking, me and Gary are like, yeah, keep going. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right, Right, guys, we've got some questions we want to ask you. I mean, sometimes we have single guests on, and Karah, you know this when we came on, we're asking you who's your ideal dinner date, what you like to drink and stuff. But with it being a multiple guests tonight, we wanted to make it a little bit different. And guys, for you guys that's going to view this afterwards as well, we've asked one question for you all to get back to us. This is not for you guys at the minute, but all our viewers that are going to watch Barber's Arms over the next week or so, just put in comments, if you had to do one last haircut, what would it be? So if you can send your comments into the Barber's Arms. Our website is the Barber's Arms, thebarbersarms.co.uk. And you can also follow Gary at the British Barber on his Insta, or Simon Shaw Wahl on our Instagram accounts as well. There's also podcasts that will be coming out as well on the website as well. And for future information on Barber's Arms, you will be able to go into that website and find some of the future events and some of the future guests coming up. Can't say enough about this, guys. We've got some amazing guests coming up in the next few weeks. Some big names, not only in the UK, but Gary sourced some of his colleagues in the Americas as well. So we've got some massive names coming up in the next few weeks. So stay tuned to Barbers Arms, and we've got some great platforms as well coming up, which is going to be really exciting. As excited as we can be in what's happening. So girls, we're going to start off with you, Frankie, if we can.
Okay.
If you had to relive one part of your career, what would it be?
Oh, that's an easy one. I would have started barber school a lot sooner. A lot sooner. I would have started it. I was kind of lost for a little bit. And 10 years later, I wish I would have started it, but here I am, and I'm excited to be here.
So
Fantastic.
you'd relive it again by going in a bit earlier.
Yeah. Yeah, I wish I would have went to barber school a lot earlier. I don't know what I was thinking, but you know, one day it clicked. I woke up and I was like, wait, I can make money cutting hair. And I went to school.
Good.
And I love it.
And that same question to Jasmine. Jasmine, if you had to relive one moment of your career, which one would it be? To which part would you like to relive?
Starting my business a lot sooner than I did.
When you say your business, you mean going self-employed or opening your shop?
Yes. Yeah, because I just did that. I started this year, so I wish I started that a few years ago.
How long have you been in the industry?
10 years.
For somebody, go on, Karah. You go next. Then I bet it's a hard one for you. This is.
Well, I mean, Jasmine was my assistant manager for my stores years and years ago. So, I mean, Jasmine has had the talent. We worked together for years. And so I do think that she should have started earlier. She's always had the talent. She's the only person I've let do my hair other than myself. So I can say that, and haircuts and everything. If I had to relive anything, I honestly would say going into my own operation sooner, because I get to stay in barbering as much as I like, and I get to work with so many team members that need to learn, and I love teaching. I also get to stay on my own and develop that. I don't have a regret, but I look forward to the business that I've already started of my own barbering style, but can't really say I relive anything in that way, because I've been very lucky the way I've navigated my own private business. You know, but it's worked out really well. I've gotten to do a lot of things in a lot of states with a lot of people, so I really wouldn't take back. There's some that aren't perfect, but you know, I'm pretty happy with my path so far. I won't lie.
Perfect. Simon, are you still with us?
Yeah, I'm listening. I love listening to people.
Well, wait. What if we have a question for you? So I have a question for you guys. So I saw on a show recently, one of your guests had asked Simon about his start. And Simon had spoken about, I'll call it a chain salon. I can't really think of the reference that Simon spoke about it, but it was a similar idea of a smaller chain thing that he never thought he'd work at. And then he gives, you know, at the end of the day, he doesn't regret starting there because that built who he was. So what would be for you two? I mean, Simon had that. Do you regret not going into your own barbering? Gary, how do you feel about it? What is it for you two that you've done in your barbering experience that makes you feel like you could have not done, or that it was super important that you did do?
I think from my point of view, when these questions asked, what I'm asking this question for is, it's really which part of your career would you relive? And you can either go that where it's a real negative and a bad thing that happened, or a real positive. I always get on, you know, my glasses always are full. So from my point of view, which part of my career would I relive? And it potentially would be, I love reliving all my big shows. And when I travel abroad and you're working in front of 1,000 people, and you know, you've made them smile, you made them laugh, you've educated them, and I relive that. I relive it. I live it before I get there. I have all my sound bites, my video, everything. I love my intro video coming up. It's like X Factor. Then you come out on stage, and I actually, driving along in a car, I'll have the sound of the music, and I'll say, ladies and gentlemen, would you please welcome from the United Kingdom, Wahl's Global Artistic Director, Mr. Simon Shaw. And I'm driving along, and I've got goosebumps. So I relive a lot of my career on a daily basis.
Look at you.
You know, so
I think of Rocky over here.
yeah, and so like, I listen to a lot of Rocky. So for me to relive any part of my career that weren't so good, there's a few things that when I've been on stage, I can remember collecting an award 3 years ago, and it was a shock award. It was the Industry Icon Award at the Shabra Awards. And I didn't expect to get it, so I had nothing prepared. You know, so I'd like to relive the acceptance speech a bit better because I weren't prepared for it, and you'd thank a few more people for it. But apart from that, I've got no regrets, and there's no part of my career that I'd relive to repair. I'd like to relive them because the moments were very special, they were very magical.
Yeah.
So if you ask me that question, Karah, and I actually, let's fuck it, Gary. Let's just have a drink. Let them take over the show, and we'll just be asked questions tonight. I like it.
Yeah.
Let's get Karah as a
You've known this
presenter.
for a while. I'm not so quiet, so you know what you're getting into.
That would answer my question. I don't know what about you guys?
I don't regret anything. I've never had a plan, really. We come from a family business. We ended up with, a few shops. Went into education, loved it. I think when I got involved with, people like yourself, the BBA, got asked, started writing standards for the industry. It was great. It was a great time for me. I was very humbled. I was teaching at the time and had we had 3 shops then, or 4 shops. I was teaching, and I got asked to sit on a board to represent and introduce the first barbering qualification. That was 99-2000, and for me, I think from my 30th birthday onwards, I'd live it all again. I absolutely love it. 20s were good, but I think 30, I could take my liquor a little bit better, and I wasn't an asshole. So.
Jesus, I wanted to drink with you in your 30s, that if you could take your liquor better then to what you do now. Oh my days.
No, I just
girls. I drink with Gary at exhibitions, and literally I get into a bar and I watch him and I think I'll go and have 3 or 4 drinks with him, but then I really need to escape because I'm working tomorrow. And he turns up looking ream the next day in his 3-piece top man suit. He looks the dog's bollocks. He's walking on stage doing his shave. He has an entourage with him. Me, I'm just me on my own. Just pop up on a little wall stand and do my bit. Gary's got an entourage behind him, carrying his cases for him with his 3-piece suit on his shirt. And I'm thinking, he had 27 drinks last night. How did he just manage to do that? And he's going to do a live shave on stage and do it absolutely pristine.
Wait, you didn't do it like this? You were like, excuse me, I got this. Don't worry. Yeah, no, that's not the point.
I'll tell you a little story quickly.
It's shot o'clock anyway, Gary. We need some shots, girls. It's shot time.
Come on then. Here we go.
Good time. All right. I'm shooting with beer for you guys, so still
have Patron.
Gary. I need to get my moonshine. I forgot about that.
Well, you Google that. You'll be good. My girlfriend just walked past. I'm just going to give her a little shot of tequila because she feels a little bit left out. So I'm just going to pour a little. She just walked into the bar, so I'm just pouring a little tequila. And she don't want to come on camera, but she's going to take a little shot with me. There you go.
Salud.
Come on, you got to take it. If you've got sound effects, here we go. You ready? On 3. Everybody, cheers, everybody, to our American friends.
Salud.
Cheers.
Whew. Guys, we need some of this Patron over the water. Girls, moving on. We'll start off with you, Jasmine. Jasmine, if you had to do one last haircut on this planet, it was like you got a model in front of you and said, right, Jasmine, this is it. This is the last time you're ever going to cut hair. What style would you want to recreate?
I like the skin fades, the military skin fades, the nice flat top, and then the good beard. Taper down a good beard trim, line it up, make it look clean. That's the last haircut I would want to do. Make someone looking clean before they go out.
Okay.
Do you do a lot of beard work?
I do. My husband is bald, so he's got the big old like Irish beard, red and everything. So I take it down and make it look clean. He's got to match something there.
I know how it feels. Is he big and strong as well? Has he got big arms like them? Look at them bastards.
He does. He does.
Excellent. You know how he feels, Gaz, don't you?
No.
Woohoo! Frankie, if you had to do one last haircut on this planet, what haircut would you want to do?
Oh man, I would most definitely go with like a classic old school 50s like pompadour with a really light low taper. A lot of scissor work, but some really nice clean low clipper work for sure.
That's funny, Gary, because Alison said about scissor work, and it's not like what we like to hear at Wahl. We like all these clippers. That we really use. Everybody.
Was that the wrong answer?
No. Barbers Arms. We're in a pub, so you can say what you want. But we obviously we know you all use Wahl clippers anyway, so we're happy with that. But yeah, that's good to know. And you know, it's familiar when you're hearing different sides of the pond as well. And you know, we'll hear what Karah's got to say in a second. But you know, it's very similar what you've just said to what the girls were saying in England as well. Andrea loves just to do a number 4 back and side, something nice and classic and short. Sophie wanted to do a skin fade, and you know, Alison liked to do something longer and a bit wavy, a bit more fade, a bit more softer with scissors. So yeah, it's interesting that you're all very, very similar. Karah, what would your last cut be if you had to do one?
Well, unfortunately, I'm going to mimic them, and no offense to Frankie, but I would do a very similar zero fade with a nice heavy pompadour, but I don't like scissor work. I even use clippers on my women when I can. I work with clippers on blunt lines. If you can't get it out with any of my Wahls that are my shavers, if I can get it out with my foil shavers, if I can't get out my balding clippers, like I will move all those tools. I'm just a big clipper person, but I do love that beautiful faded technique, especially on dark hair, is my favorite. Yeah, and it's nice and tight, and then you have that long technique over there. That's one of my favorites.
Karah, I've just got a fax in from Lance Wallace saying, sign her up. She's doing us an advertisement there. Sign her up. Get her in the fold.
It's just one of I started with like the Justin Bieber cut as being one of my big cuts at the time when I started in the industry. That was such a long, shaggy, that was what everybody wanted, that shaggy, swooped fade in America was our cut.
Yeah.
And I could do it well, and that's fine, especially because that came from a women's industry. But these beautiful, clean fades with that long texturized top in different ways, or even a greaser all the way back, not a full pompadour, but blending those corners out just solidly enough. Yeah, I mean, clippers have become where some haircuts I couldn't do on a woman's cut without a clipper because I don't know how to 45 with my fingers anymore. I only know how to do it with a clipper comb.
I'm the opposite. All I did was use clippers for the first, I would say, 6 years of my career. And then once I started getting into education and started using my shears more, now I kind of use a combination of the both. But yeah, for the first part of my career, it was all clippers.
Yeah, and it's all what you attain to. And I know Frankie and I, coming in that education field, I can say, especially in Sportclips, if you're working with a new stylist, you're working with anything, we teach you the basics. And then what it is, though, is that we want quality over quantity. So if you need to use your shears to get there, then get there that way. And if it's that I can teach you with clippers how to get there better, great. If it's that Frankie can teach somebody with shears how to achieve that style, and that's what they're more comfortable, and they achieve the right look, then that's kind of where I do love about our brand and the way America works, is that you can get there how you like. I personally would step away and be like, no, Frankie, but Frankie would look at me and be like, wait, you could do it this way. But we
Karah, take a breath. Take a breath.
Take a shot.
Listen. Is Simon paying? Is Simon paying you?
What for what?
For clipper work.
No, that's just not how to cut hair.
It's coming from there, Gary. It's coming from the heart. You can see she's very passionate about Wahl clippers. So
I'm with Karah though. I'm all Wahl clipper cut. I'm not the shear. I have trouble with the shear.
I just bought a new Wahl senior today.
Oh, the girls, you're making my night.
Based
on that, let's have 3 shots then for your senior, for your shaper, and your detailer. Let's have a shot. Let's celebrate Wahl tonight. It's like an advertisement. We should be, Trevor, if you listen to the directors watching it, I can see an invoice coming here saying this is a Wahl advertisement tonight. So I can see
ladies, we love you.
For us.
We love you.
Karah, you've got a question about the Barbers' Arms in America. Do you want to ask the girls?
Girls, I know Simon travels there quite a lot, and hopefully we're going to be back. In the last 5 years, I've done a lot of. I think I've got about 3 states to visit now. But how do you think the Barbers' Arms would go down in the US or in North America? Do you think you'd want us over there? Do you think it would go down all right?
Absolutely.
I think I like the whole atmosphere. It's real, just calm and fun. And I think I know myself, sometimes I get a little uptight because when they like prep you for these sort of things, this is what you say, this is what you don't say. And I just love the fact that everybody's in here being themselves and like just sharing information. So I think it'd be good. I think it'd do really well.
So we're coming to San Diego, California. I think Simon's gone for the back road. What we call the toilet is the back road here. So he just keeps leaving now and again.
Well, when you
you guys are welcome to San Diego.
Now,
So Jasmine, do you think it would go down well in Arizona?
I think so. Yes, it would do great out here.
Good. Karah, I don't even have to ask you this question, do I? I know you're in Arizona, but and I know you travel around as well. You're operations manager, you're area manager for Sportclips as well. So I'm not going to even ask you this question. I'm going to ask you another question.
You know my answer, so you're good.
How's the group doing at the moment and after lockdown, and how are you doing with generally? Has everything got back to normal, or as normal as can be?
I'm just gonna speak for I think the girls in a certain way is that we were starting to get normal and things got weird. I think we all kind of know what we're talking about politically got weird, and so since I know Jasmine works private, but Lon is always, I would rather speak for certain things that are easier said for people that work for the corporation. It's become a difficult situation for a lot of us to have feelings politically, and we just got done with lockdown and we're dealing with that, and now we have clients, stylists as our employees, how we're addressing things, shutting down stores for safety, possibly some of ours and things like that. So that is drawn into our businesses within a week. I mean, Frankie just opened, then had to hit it right away. We've been open for like 3 weeks. Poor Frankie just opened and then, has that whole thing going on in California. So, without pointing any fingers or talking about it, there's a lot of pressure right now with what's going on.
Yeah.
I mean,
we just opened and we had to shut it down. We have a couple of short stores already shut down due to what's going on down here. So it's been, like she said, it's been pretty tense, but doing the best that we can.
I mean, we weren't going to bring up this. I mean, we were just going to ask you guys anyway, because we've had a little bit, but nothing like you guys anyway. But how's that impacted on? And I feel like there's a bit of an elephant in the room, but there isn't really. But because of all the unrest over the US, where do you think this is all going? I know we're going to have a statement by Wahl at the end of the show, but it's hard for everybody, isn't it? But you guys are on the front line because you're on the high street, aren't you? You're on. You've got stores open. So how's that affected you guys?
I don't think we can answer yet because right now we're just starting to see everything roll in on the corporate stuff that I don't work for corporate, but the people that I know in operations that are having stylists say things or what owner supports what or what doesn't, it's just all trickling in. So I think I don't know if Frankie does or Jasmine does, but I don't have an answer right now of how this is going to work with employees. And just to give a very quick example, like, Uber, do you have Uber over there?
Yeah.
Okay. So like Uber just put out a statement yesterday saying they support this issue and this is how they're working with it, blah, blah. I think some people are looking for companies to do that. That can include ours as well. So I don't know what's going to happen, and we don't know. Right now, it's not hurt our stores. Our stylists are being compliant. So, at this point, we're just working with it, but we don't know how it's going to impact. I don't have an answer for that at all.
I know.
I mean,
we're watching stuff over here on the
news.
We're watching stuff on the news, and obviously you know, from my point of view, I'm working with an American company, and you know, we're in conversation all the time with Wahl America. You know, this week I've had maybe 3 Zoom calls with them. In fact, some of the directors of the BBA were on one of the calls with us. So we're in touch all the time. It's very sad, and being attached to the States, working there quite a lot over the 20 years, and maybe traveling to the States 6-7 times a year. I have seen certain things I've looked at and thought that's not right. It just seems to, what happens in America that doesn't happen over here is, when something like this happens, it escalates so quickly. And it just seems to spread like a straw fire, like a forest fire, like they do in Australia. It just seems to just get really out of hand really quickly. And it's a little bit scary. And I understand what the government says sometimes. Some of the protesters are angry against the army and the certain police. You can't do that. It was 2 or 3 individuals that just got made real bad mistakes. I don't know about you guys. I've been watching the news. Though. Most of those police officers on duty were only in the force maybe 3 or 4 months, or they're just come out of training, or it was the 4th or 5th shift.
Yeah, it's a people thing. It's a people thing. It's not a one
disaster.
It's a person thing. People can be just as nasty whether they're wearing a uniform or not, or whatever. So it's just trying to. So it affects the industry. I would say, you know, staying on industry talk. The reason it affects our industry is going to be, as we see all of us have it mixed in different ways. Our culture is much more mixed than people give credit to. And it seems America as white, but that's really not the fact. It's so mixed, myself included, but I look as white as can be, but I'm not. So it's just one of those things where I think right now it's our teams are looking for us to support them and our business support them. And I think right now our business is doing that. I know Jasmine as a human, her business does that. But I know Frankie can account that our business supports all of us. And that's what our industry is looking for, is businesses that support safety, integrity, and honesty in that. And that's something that I believe that we do at Sportclips all the time.
Fantastic. I mean, we don't want to dwell on this because it's a hard time for everybody. And, you know, we're here to support our members and just lighten the mood. It's here for the barbering community. But so, you know, it's a hard time for all of us, but, you know, God bless everybody and you know, and hope everybody's safe. But just one question, and I've got a funny story anyway, but what's your funniest story? And I'm going to go with Frankie here first. What's your funniest story from the industry, or it can be anything, on absolutely anything. It could be from your point of view, from your training, from a client, or what's your funniest story that's happened to you within the industry?
So about 5 years ago, I came from LA to San Diego, and I started off at a brand new store. Nobody knew me. They brought me in there as an assistant manager. Nobody knew who I was. They just brought me in there to start helping manage things. And I remember they sent me out to pass out some free haircuts to get some clients to come in to the shop. So I'm out in the shopping center. I'm passing out coupons, and I see this gentleman out there, and, you know, it looks like he hasn't had a haircut for quite a while. You know, he's a little dirty, and I'm just like, hey, you know, it looks like this guy can use a haircut. Give him a haircut coupon. 5 minutes later, he comes on in, and my manager looks at me, and she's like, all right, Frankie, you gave him the coupon. You're going to cut his hair. I'm like, all right, cool. I don't have a problem with that. So I start cutting his hair. I cut his hair. You know, he's trying to tell me how to cut his hair, whatever. I listen to him, finish cutting his hair. He feels great. As soon as he stands up, he picks up my shears and starts to trim his nose hairs with them.
Oh, no.
Oh my God. And I'm like, dude, I tried to be, you know, professional. I was like, hey, just to let you know, due to state board rules and regulations, we can't have you touching our tools. So that's not the worst part. So he puts them down. I take them back because we give him a hot towel treatment with some tea tree shampoo, right? So I take him back. He takes off his shirt, takes the hot towel, and starts rubbing his body down. And I'm like,
oh, my Lord.
And I'm like, all right. So, I mean, and my boss at that time didn't do anything, was just watching me, was laughing at me, and kind of giving me fend for myself. But I think I handle it as best as I can. I just had never had anybody take off their shirt and wipe themselves down with a hot towel like that. And it was just interesting to me. But, you know, I will tell you, he did come back and tell me that he got a job interview after his haircut. So it was all worth it.
That's excellent.
That's
We're
awesome.
running out of time, so we need to really move on with the next guys. Great story, Frankie. So Jasmine, just a quick funny story that you've got.
So it was actually when I used to work at Sportclips with Karah. I had somebody come into the shop and was like, do you guys have a pen and paper? And one of the girls looked back and she gives him the pen and paper. And then the guy like runs outside. That's your car. Like, he's putting a note on your car. And I was like, what? So I walk out there. This guy hit my car. He drove too fast into the parking spot and straight up hit the back of my car. And then I was like, okay, we exchanged numbers and everything like that. He comes into the shop to get a haircut. So lo and behold, I'm the only stylist available for a haircut. Guy hits my car. Guy hits my car, and then I have to turn around and cut his hair. And I don't know how to react this whole time I'm cutting his hair because I'm like, oh, so how's your day going? What do you do? Like, I don't know how to go about this. And then he tips me, and I'm like, okay. Never heard from the guy again. He never responded to my calls, nothing for fixing my car. And that was that was probably the most awkward thing I could ever go through. I was like, oh, you hit my car. Let me cut your hair real quick. Let me do you a favor real quick.
Terrible.
I'm good with my stories. You guys have mine, so.
Okay.
We're good.
Guys, it's been amazing to have you guys on as well. And I know we've run out of time a little bit, but I think from day one, we've really, the director, Trevor and Jackie, who put Barbers' Arms together, have really had this directive where it has been a very much, every week you've seen different Americans on. I know there's some great guests coming on next week. One from America who's a big player in America. We've had Karah on, we've had Phil Wahl on. You know, Karah, you've been on twice. That's enough now. Stop it. You're hugging the limelight. People are saying, get her back on.
Oh my God.
We've had lots of great.
I'm over there to fight you. I'm serious. Watch me. Listen,
baby, I'm ready for it. Let's do it. I'm also looking at the amount of great comments that we've had tonight as well, which is about how good it's been for you guys to join us. The girl power out there has been amazing to see you three from America and see how successful you are as well in your own individual businesses and you know, just amazing. When we had Karah on first time, how many people said, wow, how many salons she runs and what a powerful job she had with Sportclips. But you know, the girls from England as well, ANDREA Raymond, Sophie Collins and Alison Brightwell, everybody's saying on the comments, girl power's been fantastic tonight. So we really thank you for coming in for a drink with us. Hope you've enjoyed it. Keep tuning in every week to Barbers' Arms. We've got some amazing guests from not only America, but also around the globe. We've got some of the top names in the UK as well, coming right into the arms for drinks.
Awesome. Thank you.
Ladies.
Thank you.
Ladies. Finally.
All
just
right.
one more.
Everyone.
Do you know what my famous saying is? Wherever I go, whoever I meet, it's just one more. So,
it does.
To you, ladies.
It starts about 8 o'clock and it finishes about 1 o'clock in the morning, so it's always a disaster.
Good health, ladies. Thank you very much. You've been fantastic. Love you all. Stay safe, and we'll speak again soon, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. There we have Karah, and we have Jasmine, and we have Frankie joining us from across the pond in America. That's nice, Gary. We've had what a girl power. I mean, you know, for young people as well. I watched a bit of Instagram today, only a little bit as well, because I don't know what's going to happen when I go back to work. The amount of jobs that I get thrown at me around the house, I fuck knows what's going to happen when I get to work. I think she's going to crack up. But I was listening to some guys, and when you see that tonight with the girls that's come through and holding such powerful jobs, but also making some real big grounds in this industry, it's so refreshing, isn't it? It's like, wow, this would have happened 20 years ago.
The thing is, I know from a barber's point of view, we feel like we're a male-oriented. When you go to shows and different things, we feel like we're a male-orientated industry. But like I said earlier, there's more ladies in there. There's more lady barbers in there than there is gents, and it's quite hard to actually believe that. But the figures are there. They are actually there. And when you see these girls both sides of the pond, when you go to America, there's huge amounts. Male grooming over there is huge. There's barbershops, there's male grooming. It's absolutely huge. And when you see the quality sometimes, you just think, wow. But it's so big, you can't actually get to name everybody. You know what I mean? These people, you know, before tonight, most of our viewers wouldn't have known these girls. But you know, unless they do a show or unless they're in the limelight or, you know, a megastar on Insta famous, you know, we don't see them. But there's a lot of good work going out there. So it's fantastic. Yeah. But it's lovely. It's lovely to see a different side of the industry, isn't it? You know, it's lovely to see people we don't usually see.
And this is what's nice about here now is this is how me and you would be talking if we're sat next to each other. We'd have a beer. We've had 4 or 5 beers now. We've had a couple of shots and stuff, and we'd be sat at booze and we'd be chewing. In fact, if we'd had them into booze and they'd come and talk to us, like you do when you're out for a night out, different people at different parts of the night will drop in and out. This is what Barbers Arm's all about. I'm sure you've all enjoyed the girl power tonight. Gary, I was going to ask you some questions about your round table through the Barber Council and City and Guilds and everybody who you sat with on Monday, because I watched it all the way through and there's some great information there. But I think what we're going to try and do for everybody is that Gary's going to put some stuff on our thebarbersarms.co.uk. That's easy for me to say. We're going to put that on our website, which is thebarbersarms.co.uk. And Gary's going to put some information on there about things that came up in that meeting, things that are queried in there. We're getting lots of comments tonight. It's nice on this show that we're not talking about PPE and stuff like that. We've gone through that. Everybody's doing that. You know, I've reneged for so many chat shows to go on it and talk about what do you think we'll be wearing? Oh, we can't do that anymore. We don't do it on this show. But Gary's got some great information, though, that you do need to know. And you do need to get involved in it, but it's a real. I thought the meeting on Monday, Gary, were very frank and very honest, and it came from all different sectors, which was really interesting. And obviously, you as my co-host on Barbers Arms, I thought you were the best on that panel. You spoke so much sense and really fetched it together. I thought Keith Coniford spoke very well as well from City and Guilds and the Barber Council and Hairdressing Council. So I'd like you to put some stuff on the website there, Gary, so some of our viewers this week can have a look at some of the stuff that were mentioned, some of the key lines. You know, one of the biggest questions that everybody says is, if the R rate goes up, is it going to be a blanket shutdown after? No, it's not. That's one of the things I learned. If the R rate is above 1% in London, then it's not in Yorkshire or Midlands, then you'll all open up in Yorkshire and Midlands if London has to. If they're going to do it. I learned a lot on that meeting, mate. I did learn a lot, so it'd be good to have that on our website and our Instagram page.
Yeah, I agree, mate. I mean, it was an honour to go on there. I think it was a good group of people. We got a lot of people. What the one thing I will get out to everybody out there, and I know we've had a great night. I love the pub, and before we start talking bows that we say in Stoke. The main thing is just rely on what government releases and says. This week I've heard all this fake news about we're going back on the 8th, we're going back on the 15th. Just stick to government and what's official sources. I think it came from the Telegraph and somebody else. you know, and everybody jumps on the bandwagon, just forget what they say. Do what we do, stay safe, and, you know, don't start cutting yet. We're doing good. We're doing all right. We're going to get back there. Hopefully it's going to be the 4th. So the main thing is, you know, from our point of view, from the BBA, we will release as soon as we've got no guidance off the government yet. This is perfect example. My next door neighbour's a chiropodist, okay? They're going back. They went back Monday. They've been really quiet. All the clients have started cancelling because they've got clients in the book already, because they usually every 2 months or 3 months or something like that. And they've said they've been really quiet. The consumer confidence has been really poor. That isn't to say that's not going to happen with us, but what they were telling me is about different things is, you know, we're completely different industries. So just got to be careful. Just don't believe everything you say. And it's really hard from a point of view of us guys, because we're all so we all love each other. We all want to be back at work, but we just got to be careful, haven't we, what we believe? So
yeah. And I think, you know, somebody said to me about, you know, what if it's pushed back a week? And I'm like, if it's pushed back 1 week, you've done 15 weeks then. So another week ain't going to make a difference. And I know in the grand scheme of things, it's not ideal, but listen, we're going to get through that together. Gary, if we can, based on our American colleagues and our viewers that's going to watch us, I've got a little statement, and I'm going to drop this down a little bit if I can. I've got a little statement that has come out. I'm going to do a shorter version of this statement, actually, but it's for our Black brothers and sisters in America going through the difficult times and the atrocities that's happening over there at the minute. So first of all, just a little verse from the great immortal words of Martin Luther King. When evil men plot, good men must plan. When evil men burn and bomb, that's when good men must build and bind together. When evil men shout ugly words of hatred, good men must commit themselves to the glories of love. I'm not going to read the full statement, but we at Wahl Professional, you know, we've held hands with African-American barbers for over 100 years. These shops are somewhere where people can go to do things like they have love, laughter, security. They have refuge from the trials and tribulations of day-to-day life, you know, and to go through the statement and to finish off at the bottom is, you know, we at Wahl are very hurt, we're very sad, and we're very angry about what's happening to our brothers and sisters of African-American communities. You know, it is time now to plan, to build, and to bind, and to commit to the glory of love. Black lives matter, but I'm going to say all lives matter as well. But that is a very shortened version that we wanted to say on here tonight as support to everybody that is feeling the after effects of what happened to George Floyd. And that's just a statement, very shortened statement that I wanted to say tonight. So God bless to everybody. We hope you've enjoyed the 9th edition of Barbers Arms. Over 500,000 viewers have watched us since lockdown. Me and the Mashmeister drinking his way through IPA, through Desperados, through moonshine. This is now going to be a staple part of the British barbering hairdressing diary every Friday, whether it's on Zoom, whether it's on Facebook or any platform, or if it's going to be live around you. Barbers Arms is here to stay. It's going to get bigger and it's going to get better. So from my point of view, I'm so proud to be part of it and to be the co-host. I can't think of anybody better. I would like to co-host with the Mr. Gary Machin, who I'm going to give the final word to on this beautiful Friday evening. I'll see you all next week. God bless you all. Stay safe and have an amazing weekend. Gary.
Simon, you're always too kind and I love you, mate, anyway. The main thing is, you know, thank you for bringing up the Barber Evo roundtable. I think it's really important that people hear and see true events or true news. Forget all the fake news. Just keep on it. I will just say one thing. Registration, I'm going to bring it up because I'm chairman of the Barber Council and I'm not going to labour this point, but together we're stronger. For the whole industry, just get in there, if we do it all together and we push in the same direction for all of us, and I think this is the best time ever, we should be getting over the line. It's Keith Connifford's a great guy, but I think we need,
very well.
and this is speaking from a BBA point of view, and the Rogers Barbers and Gary Machin. We've got to push all in the same direction. It's a great industry. We all love it. So let's just get it over the line and let's be a professional industry.
I'll have a drink to that, Gaz. I'll see you.
Mate.
If I don't see you for a week, I'll see you for a window. But I will see you in the Arms next Friday night. We've got some amazing guests lined up. I think that they're nearly confirmed, but let's just say we've got one of the biggest iconic names in American hairdressing, and we've got one of the biggest names in British hairdressing who is going to be live on Barber's Arms next Friday night. And also as well, we've got some amazing guests lined up in the next 4 or 5 weeks, guys. Some of the biggest hitters in the UK and globally are going to be on the Barber's Arms. Thanks to all the girls that joined us tonight from England, Alison Brightwell, Andrea Raymond, and Sophie Collins, and then to our friends in America who joined us, Frankie, Jasmine, and Karah, who joined us across from the pond. Thank you very much for joining Barber's Arms. Visit us on our webpage, which is thebarbersarms.co.uk. Visit the Machmeister on The British Barber on his Instagram, or Simon Shaw Wahl on my Instagram. Good night. God bless everybody. See you all later. See you next Friday.
Love you. See you next Friday, mate.